What's going on, guys? It's Kuday here, and today we're gonna rank every single tower in MK Mobile. There's only one problem. Sometimes they restructure the rewards or change the boss battles, which makes this difficult to rank, since a tower that was easy the first time wasn't easy the second time. Regardless, we're gonna give it our best shot. What am I gonna be ranking each tower on? I'm gonna be ranking it on how easy it is and how good the rewards are, not the equipment. So if you came here for an equipment ranking, that's going to be its own separate video. But for towers, we're just going to focus on rewards and how easy it is. So if it's rewarding to go up to tower 200 and finally get the last reward or not. We're starting with tower 4. This is the second version of tower 4 to exist, and it just gets a C. I would say F, but I mean, tower 4 gear is kind of rare to come by, and this tower is mostly easy. It's not that difficult, but compared to the original, it is much more challenging than the original tower 4. And the rewards have not improved one bit. No epic at tower 200, and it's just a random circle shadow character. Disgusting. Gross. For climbing all those battles just to get one circle shadow character and no epic gear? Hell no. Considering they made a final boss battle for that one. Linkway Tower, the original, which still has not been modified. I'm gonna have to give this one I would say A. Now, why give Linkway Tower an A? It's almost an S because the rewards for how hard the tower is pretty balanced. I mean, the Tower 200 reward guarantees that you get Kuai Ying Scepter and Bracers along with a Circle Shadow character. My only complaint for playing this tower is that you don't get a random diamond at Tower 100, which is a huge letdown. I mean, just devastating. Now let's move on to Black Dragon Tower. I'm going to give this one... Ooh, this is a hard choice. So this is the normal version. We'll give it a B. Yeah, normal Black Dragon Tower. It's a B. It's decent, but it's got its flaws. The rewards are alright. Black Dragon gear, since we're not ranking the equipment... I mean, yeah, it's just okay. Black Dragon Tower Fatal. Let's give this one an A tier. Rewards are solid. The difficulty, I would say it's very manageable. It's a pretty faithful tower. I just think Fatal Black Dragon Tower, when it first came out, it was a little bit more challenging, but with all the characters we have in the game now, oh, I mean, you could just crush this tower. I mean, yeah. And you're going to get an epic and Black Dragon character along with a diamond at 100. There's no real losing there. Shiraya Tower Normal and Fatal. Oh my god. F for Fatal and F for Normal. Oh my lord. Both of these towers are almost unplayable. I mean, I will give Normal a C because it's easier than Fatal. But the rewards, I just don't think it makes up for how difficult Shiraya Tower Fatal actually was. Buffing the gears the way they did to give the bosses that much of an advantage was a huge mistake. They should not have done that. And they didn't for this update. They did not revamp any towers to be 10 times more difficult than they were in the previous update. So, thank goodness. But, oh, wow, yeah. Shiraya Tower Fatal, that is... that deserves to be in an F spot. Nightmare Tower. Well, I don't know, B, something like that. Nightmare Tower, it's not the best tower to play through, and the reason I have to give it a B, it would be in the A spot or S spot normally, is because the boss battle was revamped to be 10 times more difficult than it needed to be. Now they all have shields, and you could take them out with Sonya, classic Sonya, or you could just use other characters that have shield break, but that's tedious and boring. Okay, it's tedious and boring to do that. I would much rather use special and unique characters on the battle 200 fight, but that limits creativity because they're shields, and you need shield breaking characters. But what can you do? It still has decent rewards, and the battle is mostly easy if you just use shield breaking characters. So, B tier. Sorcerer's Tower. Playing Sorcerer's Tower feels like I'm in the back of my social studies classroom from 6th grade. C. My god, I mean, I did not want to listen to anything that teacher was saying, and I had a D in that class, just barely passing. I have no attention span while playing Sorcerer's Tower. I mean, The fights are just, they feel so generic, and the boss battle 200, I just don't like it. I don't enjoy it at all. Maybe it's just me, and I could just be over dramatic here. I just don't like sorcerers, and I think a lot of people share this sentiment that it's just not that fun to play through. The rewards are mid at best, just a bunch of MK11s, which you can just get from the MK11 packs. You don't need to climb an entire tower and waste your time for playing a social studies class. Next up, Cold War Tower, which, yes, it has been renamed to Cold Tower in the game files. It is not called Cold War anymore. The tower's design was slightly altered in this update, but to my knowledge, the rewards and the tower fights have remained the exact same. Which, with that in mind, I can still rank it the exact same way I would if it was called Cold War Tower. So the Cold Tower gets an A tier. I kind of enjoyed Cold Tower. I'm going to be honest. Yeah, freezing's kind of annoying, but something about the tower just really engages me. I just want to play it when it's around. And when it comes back again, I'll be sure to play it and have a good time. Cold Tower is the first tower that I did like a gold team versus some of the hardest battles video. And it's kind of bad. Video wasn't very good, but I tried my best. I'm gonna try to do a better job this time around. So the normal Earthrealm Tower, it's exhausting. I'm gonna give it like a B. I don't think it's a C because the rewards are, they're all right. The diamond characters, they're just meh. Yeah, I'm just gonna have to say B. Do I need to elaborate any further? The boss battles, they reflect a ton, which is super annoying. Finally, we get to rank the Edenian Towers, my favorite. Some of my long-running jokes on this channel come from my original Edenian Tower gameplay video. Super fun to make. Yes, I got my ass absolutely hammered. Still had a blast, though. I'm gonna have to give Edenian S tier. Easy. Even the normal, still an S tier. Super fun to play that tower, and I love the aesthetic, the theme. So they did alter the rewards slightly, and I think they're all right. They're not the best rewards in the game, but I am ranking based on how much I enjoyed playing through the tower. Edenian Tower normal, big up on that list. And Fatal Edenian Tower, my favorite tower in the entire game, Edenian Tower. Oh my god, loved it so much. Easy S tier. Rewards were amazing when it first came out. I think they did change it slightly when they repeated it, so the tower rewards should be pretty solid. Now we have to rank the second version of the Lin Kuei Tower, which is the one that they might be repeating here soon. And if they don't alter the rewards, I'm gonna be pissed. Just extremely upset because holy moly, this is the biggest F tier. Even the new Shoryu Tower Fatal is more fun than the Lin Kuei Tower second version because they just made the fights more difficult and took away the guaranteed epic reward at the end for Tower 200. This tower serves zero purpose. You should delete yourself now. Just to clarify for any new players, yes, there is a second version of the Lin Kuei Tower. This was the original remake that they did, right? And it just failed. So they repeated the original again because people hated the second version so much. So if they bring that back again, I will cry. I will literally cry. I got comments from people thinking that the second version doesn't exist. Oh, it does, and it's awful. Okay, so we're going to go over Elderwind Tower, the normal version. Right between Earthrealm and Nightmare. It's not better than Nightmare because Nightmare has an epic, but Elderwind Tower, I'd say it's pretty decent to play. It's average. It's one of those towers where, yeah, I'll play, and I'll have a decent time. Next up, Twisted Tower Fatal. Definitely an A tier, top of the A. Right there. Right above Lin Kuei. This tower is pretty fun to play. I can't say it's S tier because I didn't enjoy it nearly as much as Edenian, but overall, the vibe and aesthetic, it was similar to Edenian in a lot of ways. My only complaint with Twisted Tower was that when it came out, it didn't have any Joker gear, even though everything was modeled after Joker. Strange. I don't know why they did it that way, but yeah, that's what they chose. Sorcerer's Tower Fatal. C. Better than normal because the rewards are just slightly better, but my golly, is this one a drag? I did not enjoy playing Sorcerer's Tower Fatal. Not at all. The tower Like, you'd think it's easy, and it mostly is, but Tower 200, it's just a bit more challenging than I expected. All right, now we're moving on to Earthrealm Tower Fatal. We're gonna give this one the highest B we can. It's decent, but it's not an A tower. I'm just gonna say it. I still don't like how the tower feels to play, and the reflection at Battle 200 is really annoying. So Earthrealm Tower Fatal is kind of low on my list. It's all right though. It's an all right tower. It's decent. Next up, Dark Queen's Tower. I have to give this a high B. The problem with Dark Queen's Tower is that not only can they reflect depending on the team, but they can also evade, which is extremely annoying. And they apply blind at all times. You'd think just use Classic Smoke with a Classic team. But Classic Smoke is not working at the moment. He's not reflecting everything as often as he should. So Dark Queen's Tower Fatal. I'll give this like a low A. It has to be. The rewards are, yeah, they're alright. The rewards on Dark Queen's Tower Normal, awful. Not good. They did not tweak them at all. So Fatal, it's a decent tower. The rewards are much better, but overall, it's still very annoying with all the blind that's being applied. Twisted Tower Normal. I'll have to give this one like around the high B mark. Pretty fun tower to play. I did say Twisted Tower overall is a decent theme and aesthetic, and Normal is no different. Ooh, this one's a fun one. Classic Tower. One of the best towers they've ever introduced in MK Mobile. I'm going to give it an easy S tier. Even the normal version, the rewards, they were really solid at the time. And they've actually revamped the rewards for a second time recently. So this tier list might be just a tiny bit incorrect if the rewards for normal suck butt cheeks. But I'm going to still say it's an S tier because of how fun this tower is to play. The issue with Classic Tower was not the actual battles themselves, it was the crashing. When a Classic Tower first dropped, there was a buttload of crashes. People were just unable to play due to the amount of bugs in MK Mobile at the time. So people were saying, wow, this tower is so good, but I can't play it because I crash every single time. And the developers, by the time they fixed everything, they had to extend the tower and whatnot. It was a big fiasco. If the game was just a lot more playable when the tower first dropped, I feel like the reception for this tower would have been a lot better. Tower 4, the original. I'm going to give this one low B. It is so much better than the second version of Tower 4 because there are no boss fights. This one would be the easiest tower to play in MK Mobile if it dropped without any modifications. However, the issue is that Tower 4 has no epic and only gives you Black Dragon Cabal at the end. To play an entire tower to get Black Dragon Cabal sounds like a nightmare. That's a real nightmare tower if you ask me. Classic Tower Fatal, better than Classic Tower Normal. One of my favorite in the game still to this day. Super fun to play. And overall, a great time in MK Mobile. I was very happy with that tower. It was the first time they introduced friendships, so the rewards are really solid. Like I said, I think the reception would have been much better if there weren't as many bugs when it first released. Alright, White Lotus Tower Fatal and Normal. I'm going to give them both A's. Right here and right here. Both decent towers. They had some faults. A little difficult, but I think they'd be a lot easier now. And the rewards were, yeah, they were pretty decent at the time. Action Movie Tower Fatal and Normal. So Normal gets a low A tier. So lastly, Action Tower Fatal. This one gets an easy S tier. This tower was one of my favorites. Normal, not as good, but Action Tower Fatal, yeah, it was pretty good. It's at the lowest of the list, though. Maybe just a bit better than Classic Tower Normal. So we just ranked all 27 towers in MK Mobile. If new towers release or towers get modified heavily, then this tier list does need to be altered and updated. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you did enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe if you are new. And let me just give a big shout out to my YouTube members. We have Bagor, Goku, Orion, Owner, Channy, Richard, Friendly Guy with the Spurger, Anonymous, Aiden, Giuliano Games, MK God, Jeremy, Aller, JD Fur, Warlord, JDB, Legendstone, Sammy, Titan Beast, Tolga, Mr. Dragon, Stan Marsh, Tushar, Katana, Plain Punch, Shocks YT, Jeff, Fitzmagic, Massive Cool, Kent, and MK Fire. Thank you all for being YouTube members and welcome to the new members. And yeah, peace out.